here we are, Game Informer's Ben Reeves and Matt Miller.
Hey, hey.
How's it going, Matt?
I am doing quite well, especially because of what I'm looking at in front of me right now.
Yeah, we got a little something special for you today. We just got our copies of Transformers Devastation in, and being big Transformers nerds, we wanted to jump right in and play it. So here it is.
What are these Transformers you speak of?
They are electrical circuits that go in a fuse box, and when they get blown, it's real bad.
Fascinating.
You lose a lot of power.
Well, yeah, to be honest, I have spent a significant chunk of my life thinking about and spending time with Optimus Prime and his fellow Autobots and Decepticons.
Oh, no.
So I gotta say, I'm pretty excited about this new game from Platinum, which we've had a chance to preview a couple of times, but this is like the final version now, right?
This is the final version. It's got a retail box and everything.
So
it's a lot of fun. You can see it looks a lot like the 80s cartoon, which is a lot of fun. This is actually Chapter 2.
Yeah.
Not quite the beginning of the game. I've played through the first chapter already. And then Megatron came to, I presume, New York or something, and just totally destroyed the city. And now we're trying to stop him before he captures all the Energon.
So one of the things that is sort of fascinating to me about this is the idea that this isn't just sort of G1 Transformers inspired. I mean, this is straight up like, this is the exact, looks like the cartoon from the 1980s, basically, right?
Yeah, that's true.
They have really done a remarkable job of capturing, albeit in this sort of like newish cell-shaded kind of look. They've captured that kind of feel of the 1980s cartoon in the way that the characters move and in the way that they fight. And even in their, like, we started out on an idle pose for Optimus Prime, and even that had the quality of seeming sort of...
It looked real cool.
Like he was in the old cartoon, and that's sort of fascinating to me.
So I'm trying to play while explaining the game, but
Which
so
is
it probably
tricky.
looks a little confusing here, but those guys with shields,
Yeah.
you can take them down in a couple ways. You can drive through these rings, which sort of speeds you up.
Right?
A lot of this was explained in tutorial during the first chapter.
Sure.
Or you can like do a speed attack, which is what I just did there to take out a shield.
Yeah.
And it's kind of cool because you have submissions within each chapter, which you just saw, but it doesn't like break up the game itself.
Okay.
It sort of slows down, gives you your stats in sort of Bayonetta / Devil May Cry style, and then you can just keep playing.
So for people who haven't seen any of our preview coverage of this game, I mean, this title has... You're always playing as the Autobots in this game, from what I understand. Is that right?
That's, yeah, as far as I know, actually. I haven't beat it,
Yeah.
so... but as far as I know, you do play as the Autobots the whole time.
Yeah, the word that I heard when we were previewing the game was that you've got 5 characters. You got Optimus Prime here, everybody's favorite leader. Bumblebee, the little guy. Got Sideswipe, being kind of the sort of like super fast speedster samurai kind of guy.
He's really good so
You got
far.
Wheeljack, who has kind of a little bit of a focus on like ranged combat and kind of sciencey stuff, doing research and that kind of thing. And then finally, Grimlock.
Yeah.
Grimlock the Dinobot.
Which I haven't got a chance to play him yet, but
Yeah.
so hopefully soon. I'm pretty excited to test him out.
I bet he's going to show up here sometime relatively soon.
Oh gosh.
The other thing that's sort of fascinating to me here is that like this game is, what I played was not easy. Like,
No,
this is like a Platinum game.
Yeah, I mentioned Bayonetta and Devil May Cry. It's those style of games. So if you like those games, this is going to be right up your alley from what I've played so far.
Yeah.
It's very stylish, but it's got that Transformers flair. And there's this this loot system. You can see him picking up stuff, and I can show you more on that later.
Yeah, I'm eager to learn more about that because when they first told me about the game, it seemed like that system was going to be pretty deep, where there's like literally something like 100 levels you can ascend through as you level up your weapons and your items and stuff.
Yeah, I'll show you it later. It does kind of remind me of Destiny's a recent example, maybe where you can take certain items and sort of infuse their power into other items.
Sure.
It seems pretty cool. I'm surprised they haven't really done much with this game ahead of time, I thought.
Yeah, I mean, this game is coming Platinum has had an inconsistent track record, to be honest, in recent years. You have really remarkable games like Bayonetta 2 that I think almost everybody who's into the stylish action genre acknowledges as a great game. And then, other titles, like I reviewed some time ago the Korra game they did, and that was not good.
No.
And so I think there's some from people who are following just the actual developer, following Platinum and the work that they do. I have to imagine that a lot of them feel as I do, which is a certain level of healthy skepticism about
just going into this,
whether this is going to be in the Korra vein or in the Bayonetta 2 vein, or if it's something else.
Yeah. Yeah. So far, I don't think it's as bad as Korra was. I don't know if I want to go as far to say that it's Bayonetta quality, but I'm very positive on it, just having played the first 2 chapters here. It's interesting too. You can't quite get a sense for the game, maybe having somebody else play it, but there's sort of like an open-ended structure to the levels. You can see the mini map. It's telling me to go to that like flashing dot on the left there.
Yeah. But if you don't want to, you can do other stuff first.
But I think there's multiple paths to sort of get there. You can see these 2 paths are sort of like converging. I think I could have come from that direction if I had wanted.
Right.
Or there's other routes. I've taken multiple routes to different objectives, which is actually pretty cool. And these things give you a boost, which allow you to just plow through dudes. So, yeah. So far, digging it. We want to give you guys kind of an extended look, so here's kind of the first chapter.
Cool, Insecticons. I dig it.
You're a big Transformers nerd, Miller.
Yeah.
Do you have, like, favorite Transformers?
I mean, Optimus Prime, I would say probably at least a dozen different versions of Optimus Prime toys in
so
my
definitely
collection.
Like one of your favorites.
Yeah, I think for people who grew up with Transformers as a favorite series, it might be hard for somebody outside of that spectrum to understand why this particular character really resonates. And
it's all the voice, right?
Well, it is a lot the voice. Peter Cullen is back to perform this version of Optimus Prime, and I think when people think about the character, they think about that voice actor. And famously, as he once talked to me about in an interview when I spoke with him in person.
I didn't know you did that.
Yeah, when we were doing our coverage of the War for Cybertron and Fall of Cybertron games, I got to talk to Peter Cullen, and he actually based the sort of tone and the quality of the way that he approached Optimus Prime in its original cartoon iteration based on his brother, who had been I think a sergeant in the Vietnam War.
Oh, really?
Who'd sort of like led troops into battle, led a small troop of soldiers into battle, and he sort of wanted to do an homage to the heroism of his brother in a way.
Well, that's
is
cool.
What he's described, and he's often talked about the idea of like his brother always talking to him about like, I wanted to keep my men safe, I wanted to do the right thing, but I want to keep, there's always in the back of my mind that these men are my responsibility. And it's interesting, like if you think about the character of Optimus Prime and how it developed over the years, it really is this sort of like quintessential leader, right?
Yeah,
this guy
he's
who's like
hero.
a good guy, but he's sometimes a little bit like he's not sure what's going to be the right decision.
Very noble.
But
He's
yeah,
like-
it's very
he's, like,
noble.
very
Sometimes to a
strong.
fault.
Right.
Right. Oh, here we got all 5 of our leads.
So we just sort of found this chip in the city, and we're gonna we'll let him explain this is a good opportunity to explain the plot.
Yeah.
Nova Prime's mission was to preserve our culture. The colonnade of Cybertron was a covenant between all Cybertronians. The colonnade is comprised of the essential aspects of our lost Cybertronian heritage, and it was placed inside the Pharaoh-Taxis, the supercomputer that controls the Proud Star. The Pharaoh-Taxis literally carries our culture inside of it.
What an historical find that would be. So much art and beauty and history has been lost. To find it again.
The Pharaoh-Taxis controls both the plasma core and the Insecticons. It directs the power and gives the Insecticons their function and purpose.
Okay, so we find the Pharaoh-Taxis and what? Destroy it? It's got so much of our culture in it. We can't do that, can we?
No, we can't. We find the plasma core and shut it down. Shutting down the power is the most surefire way to stop the cyberforming.
Then we locate the Pharaoh-Taxis and preserve our culture, as Nova Prime intended. But for now, stay focused. There are more floors to this ship. We split up and locate the plasma core.
Huh.
All right, there's
That's a
the
good little
story.
plot drop for us, I guess.
Yeah.
Which is kind of some deep cut stuff there. I mean,
Yeah, are you familiar
Nova,
with some of that?
Well, Nova Prime. This is sort of like a new variation on the fiction in some ways. Not a new one, but if asked, I was told that while everything here looks very G1, the actual basis for these characters and the looks for them and stuff like that is based upon the recent iteration of the toy line, the Generations line.
Okay.
Which really is kind of almost one and the same.
Yeah, I was going to say, how different is that really?
They're not. The Generations line was always meant to be figures that evoked the earlier versions of the characters, right? Most significantly, the Generation 1 characters, like the ones we're seeing here. But, you know, it seems like there's kind of a little bit of a melding of, like, is this really like the cartoon continuity, or is it a new continuity that's different from that's related to the Generations toys?
Sure.
It's not entirely clear, but probably not something we need to spend too much time worrying about.
Yeah, no.
But, like, yeah, Nova Prime is a character who shows up in several versions of the Transformers fiction as one of the previous leaders. In some of the versions of the storyline, he's actually a villain. In the most recent sort of cartoon or comic version of the story,
Okay.
he's kind of a bad guy.
Oh, interesting.
Or he turns out to be a bad guy. In other versions of the story, he's not.
Well, just to kind of diverge real quick.
Yeah.
We've entered the Ark, which there's these like green dotted. I mean, you saw. I touched it and I went to the Ark, and these are scattered throughout the level and allow you to sort of like switch your characters if you're interested. You can see I got Sideswipe, I got Wheeljack. I don't have Grimlock yet, so hopefully soon.
Hopefully soon.
But yeah, I don't know. Is there a particular character you think we should try out?
Well, one of the things that's kind of neat here that we haven't talked about is that, like, I'm pretty sure these are all the original voice actors doing this
It
stuff.
certainly sounds like it.
I'm almost sure that they told me that they actually have brought back the cast from the original, like, G1 cartoon. And you got to figure a lot of these actors have, you know, are coming back to these roles after decades away from them.
Huh.
But certainly,
Well, certainly Peter Cullen's pretty much been doing this his whole life.
it has been a big part of his life. But some of these other people, with the exception of convention appearances, of which these guys make a lot of them, let me tell you.
Yeah.
They haven't gotten to actually play these characters in some cases for a really long time. But yeah, I want you to show me here some of these, like what you're equipping and how this is working. So these are all like.
So this is well, I'll back out here. So we have weapons, we have tech, you can just check your status. We'll start with weapons. So you have all those weapons that we collected, the ones that you saw recently. You can equip them, obviously. So, and here they are.
So are the ones that are
various-
kind of like grayed out, you don't have those yet? Is that the deal? Like that one?
They're
the
grayed
cryo
out.
hammer?
That means I can't equip it for this character.
Okay. So you have that one, but you just can't use it yet.
Yeah, only Optimus Prime can use the cryo hammer.
Got it.
And he's pretty slow with it.
Okay.
So I don't know if I love the hammers. I've been digging these twin swords a bit. Swords are a good option. But some of them, as you can see, it's kind of random element where some of them will have different elemental powers to them. Some of them will have different stats. They'll have different levels, which you can see. Some are level 5. And if I wanted to say I liked this hyper lightning sword, this looks pretty cool.
That does look cool.
Maybe we'll try that out. And then I can go back out here and synthesize it. So I'll use that as my base, and then I'll like use another weapon to sort of infuse power into it.
Okay.
So maybe the cryo hammer.
We got a couple cryo hammers.
Yeah, I don't love the cryo hammer. I also have a bunch of extras, and I got a level 5 one. So I'll take one of these level 4 ones, and I can throw some power into the hyperlight sword. And then there you go, it leveled up a little bit.
Nice.
So you can keep doing that, like, because you're gonna keep collecting all this stuff.
I mean, you said you're on level 2, and you got a big old selection of equipment right now.
Yeah, I've already collected this much stuff. Just by
So it seems like
playing
you
2
could do
levels.
a good bit of like kind of combining
Oh yeah,
and upgrading if you wanted to.
I could just keep leveling it up, which is great.
Who gets to use Devastator's drills?
You know, I keep meaning to check that out, and I haven't checked it out yet.
That sounds
so
great.
I think we should do that. I'm gonna one more, and I get to I think a basic blaster. Oh, whoops! One more, and this will level up here.
Okay.
Try basic blaster. Yeah, that looks pretty good.
Yeah, I'm sort of fascinated by anything that lets me tinker with my own equipment in a game like this where you can like change things around
Sure.
and improve any given piece of equipment and you get to pay attention to all that kind of nitty gritty numbers game stuff.
Right. Yeah, that is fun. So equipment is the other thing we have here. You can see I already have some equipment equipped to him. To get more equipment, you just develop it in the lab, which you spend money on.
So you're
to
getting
make things.
getting the money just as an in-game currency, right?
Yeah,
Just like
I've
you
been
get-
collecting that as you go through and you like defeat things or
Right.
or smash open chests and stuff.
Do we know what the difference between the $1,000 investment or $5,000 is?
Well, it's sort of pseudo-random element to it. You spend 5,000, you have a better chance of getting something really good.
sure.
But there's also sort of a mini game to it, and here I'll show you that. If I spend the money,
Oh yeah, I remember hearing
you
about
have this like, I have to time it to try to get that yellow bar.
Right.
And if I get one of the blue bars, I don't get as good of equipment.
Okay.
And then the white sections are sort of just average, and it's easy to hit those, obviously. But oh, nice!
Oh, well done.
So rush attack up. That's pretty good. So you can keep doing that, keep spending money.
And then you put those onto an individual weapon? Is that the deal?
And
Or is it
then
just in general?
You just equip them here.
Okay.
So my ranged attack is up 30%. I also get extra credits, but maybe I'll swap that out with, my rush attack
Okay.
that I just got. So that's tech. You can check your status.
So this is just straight leveling here for your different characters.
Yeah. So I might want to like boost up. Oh shoot! You can look at stats. You can look at weapons.
Little side note for you. These different stats are the things that used to appear on Generation 1 Transformers toy boxes.
Yeah. I totally remember that. So you can see like Optimus Prime. He's pretty powerful.
Yep.
He's pretty good. But Bumblebee, I don't know.
Right. He still has some room to grow.
He's spunky.
He is spunky, but not the highest strength score ever.
No. So I don't know if you have a preference. I actually was playing with Sideswipe earlier, and he seemed pretty cool.
Yeah, let's do Sideswipe for a while.
do him?
Yeah,
Okay.
he's fast.
He is fast. So, and then the lab is you can buy and sell stuff.
So you just straight up sell one of those old the weapons you don't want anymore.
Yeah, if
Okay.
you wanted to like turn it into cash or whatever.
Those are pretty
Right.
hefty. 25,000. That's solid, based on what you have right now.
This is the good stuff right here. You
Yeah,
want the good
but you
stuff
don't want to
from
sell
here.
those yet, probably.
Probably not. Then obviously stuff to buy, and then there's moves you can buy too. Which
Oh, cool.
I've been wanting to buy this, so I'll buy that.
Yeah, it would
And-
seem like early investments in like the different moves would be wise.
Yeah, maybe a spin attack here. All right, now we're gonna have to go make some money. But you got to spend money to make money,
That's right, you do.
which is what I did. So let's give him some good weapons. Let's see if can he equip. No, he can't equip that. That's too bad.
Have to put on. He can put on the drills though, right?
He can do Devastator drill, so let's try that.
He's got those on, I think, already.
Oh, can he equip it?
Well, it says equipped. I wonder if that somebody else has it equipped.
That's what it was. Somebody else.
There you go.
So I don't know if there's a better like twin swords to use. Yeah,
Those
these are a little bit better.
Those a little better.
All right, so we've been in menus a lot. We should
Yeah,
probably just
let's go
jump
punch
back
some
in.
stuff.
See what happens next.
This looks like a boss fight room if ever there was
I
one.
don't know. You can't say that for sure.
Soundwave.
Oh, you might be right.
Look out for his tapes, Ben.
I love that, tapes were a thing in the 80s.
I know.
And nobody uses tapes anymore, but now he's sort of like stuck with that gimmick.
Yeah, totally.
Which
Even
actually
then, it
is
was a
kinda
little
cool.
weird that he was a tape player. The original Transformers toys were actually drawn from a couple of different Japanese toy lines that existed at the time, and were synthesized to get together into, what would show up in the cartoon and the early Marvel comics, to be like they're all in the same universe, but they actually weren't originally. Oddly
really?
enough, yeah. Like the Decepticons, most of the Decepticons were from one line. Most of the Autobots were from a different one, which is why, they actually had very different, like the Decepticons were like planes and things, right? Mostly. Whereas the Autobots were a lot of cars.
Yeah, I did notice that.
Yep.
It's like all the Autobots, or excuse me, all the Decepticons could fly all the time,
Yeah.
which I thought was always interesting.
Yeah, as the series gained popularity over the years, particularly after what at the time was a really wildly successful animated movie that went to theaters in, I believe, '86. I think eventually they start to be able to have their own kind of toys. But yeah, initially it was sort of cobbled together like so many things that we know from the transfer from Japanese culture to American culture in the 70s and 80s. Another famous example is how the Robotech cartoon was actually synthesized together from several different Japanese cartoons into a single story. Oh, that's good. Rank C. Pretty
Rank C?
solid.
Oh, yeah. Room to grow.
Room to grow. But,
want a little
for a
bit of
platinum
that?
game,
One of the things that maybe it does bug me a little bit is there's that flash that happens when I do a good combo and I can initiate vehicle mode and do an additional attack. That's on R1. And R1 is also the ability to just transform into vehicle mode. So sometimes you'll hit the button, if your timing's off, you'll just transform into a vehicle. You'll think you're about to do your vehicle attack, but you don't. 'Cause
Okay.
You miss the timing. So it's a little confusing. But overall, the combat seems fun and kind of crazy.
yeah, I mean, what I've seen so far of this game seems like there's a pretty hefty selection of different moves and combat options that you could play around with.
Yeah, so far, there's you probably noticed that time slows when I dodge an attack. So that's kind of fun.
Those
There's-
Insecticons just thought they were going to have a normal day.
Hang
out.
Look at all these Insecticons. Oh, I'm just hanging out,
Just
munching on some rust. then-
Munching some rust, and then in comes this guy with a sword and starts cutting me up.
Although when I was a kid, anything that was destructible in the environment was going to get destroyed.
Yeah.
It didn't matter if it deterred me from the story. There's these cool things scattered around the environment. You kind of hit them, and it's almost light puzzle. Maybe this is not the one I'm thinking of. But there'll be something else that pops up that you need to
Do you have to do it?
Oh, you know what? I already did that one. Is what happened.
Ah, okay.
But another one of those flashes in the corner, and you have to run and hit it, or a bunch of rings might pop up, and you have to drive through them, and then a chest pops up.
It
So
feels
it's kind of a way to unlock new things.
Got it. It feels suspiciously like that fight with Soundwave was too easy. Is there more of that coming?
But there might be more coming.
Oh, more Insecticon
Definitely more of
fighting.
these guys coming.
They're coming from the pods. Oh, gross.
Oh gosh.
I know from having talked to the folks at Activision who are publishing this game that the guys at Platinum apparently, I mean, we think about Transformers being this thing that's like really popular here in the United States, but you can't forget that it sort of had its origins in Japan, and apparently the guys at Platinum are like crazy big Transformers nerds.
Yeah, I guess I wouldn't have thought of that before, because I always think of Transformers as an American thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, it did have some Japanese origins too.
Yeah, if you spend time in Tokyo, particularly in like the Akihabara district, and wander around those toy stores, there's definitely some areas where you can go find like, oh, there's a whole section of Transformers toys here. Doesn't have the same popularity currently as like Gundam stuff, which is just eternally super popular in Japan. But it's still pretty big there, I think. You're doing pretty good there.
Took that.
Well done.
Doing all right. Oh, I missed him.
Yeah, for the record, this is Ben playing right now. I'm just sitting and enjoying the view.
insanity.
Yeah.
Is that Peter Cullen interview still up on the site, you think?
I don't know. I don't remember. That was a long time ago. I'm trying to remember exactly which game it was for that we did that.
It was War and then Fall, or Fall
That's
and then
right.
War.
I mean, within context, I mean, Activision is still the publisher of record on Transformers licensed games, but this is a decidedly different take on the franchise from what the last big efforts they made, which were those War for Cybertron and Fall of Cybertron games,
Which were a lot of fun, actually.
I am big defenders of those games, but part of that is that like I'm such a big fan of the Transformers fiction that I loved the opportunity to kind of like have dedicated games back on Cybertron, on the home planet, where we saw kind of like the characters before they came to Earth. Was a lot of fun. It's something that several of the comics over the decades have dealt with, but outside of that, there hasn't been a lot of. And so I like those games. I like that they made toys for those games, which were great.
Yeah. Oh, they made their own toys.
They
for
did.
War.
Yeah, there weren't a lot of them, but there was a cool Optimus Prime one, and a Megatron one, and there was a bunch of them. Cliff Jumper.
I remember talking to those guys, and they were like, just talking about how hard it was to sort of like animate the transformations sometimes.
Yeah.
And like because they wanted to make it look plausible,
Right.
That this robot's turning into this thing, and like the toy companies had to do it. So
Yep.
like, why not spend some time and make it look good?
Yeah.
But not quite like
Not exactly
not
like the old
the
ones.
movie
Yeah.
necessarily, where everything had to sort of fit together.
Yeah, there's these characters are straight up like, this is the G1 look for these characters from the 80s.
So this is kind of cool. It's a little side mission.
Oh, cool. So you can just kind of cruise past this if you want to, or otherwise do this like special combat mission.
Yeah, if you don't care. I tried it last time and I ran out of ammo. But now I have rockets.
Yeah.
So let's see if that helps. Who's left? All right.
What was that about?
Well, there's these things on the ground. You want to like smash them and you get stuff.
Oh, sure.
Because that's how that works.
Yeah. That's what I do when I get in my car every day. Just have it leap up into the air, slam down on the ground, and get some power-ups.
I did it.
That was good.
B for Ben.
B
Not
for
too
Ben.
bad.
I mean,
And then
I will
look
say,
what I got some good stuff.
yeah, that looks good. Like in Platinum games, getting a rank B, your first run at a thing, is pretty good.
Yeah, I'd be really excited if I were in high school to get a B, but in Platinum games, it's kind of like you suck because there's like A, S.
Well,
Super
sure,
S.
but like you don't get that until you've like, in my experience, Platinum games, you're often doing that stuff on subsequent playthroughs or subsequent runs at the levels.
Oh gosh. Oh, that was.
Oh, that wasn't great.
But I made it.
You did. Oh, here's some more crazy action.
Look at that.
That was cool. Nice.
Oh my gosh, I'm just wrecking these guys. So I like the attacks. I like the crazy vehicle sort of additions. It's kind of a fun timed thing.
It is an interesting choice for how to integrate transformation as a compelling part of the game. I mean, that was something that I think. I mean, you and I were on our cover story when we went down for Fall Cybertron, and I know High Moon really had to talk a lot about that, about how they were going to approach that issue of, you want the characters. Oh, that's not good, Ben. Not good at all.
I was almost there.
You were.
I wonder what's over there. But yeah, you were saying, like, how do you add transformations to this thing?
Yeah, because it's an
not
odd
screw with the gameplay.
Exactly, it's an odd thing. It's so core. Obviously, it's in the name of the game.
Right.
You can't just leave it out. But at the same time,
did it again.
How do you mix up like what's like a driving / flying game into a traditional sort of shooter action game? And the solution here seems to be well done.
What did I get?
Solution here has been like, let's not draw a distinction, right? Let's just have the transformation stuff be integrated into the combat, and also a way to like go really fast when you need to, like what you just did. That was actually quite impressive.
That was cool.
Yeah,
it was cool looking. I thought felt good doing it.
Good.
And
I'm
I'll
glad
say
you feel good about it.
There seems to be a lot of like cool little just things hidden around the level. Like you can see, this is all optional. I'm kind of not following the critical path here. So if you're kind of a sucker for loot games, then this might be for you.
What I see right now is a bunch of stuff that you're going to get to dismantle. That's what I see.
Yeah. But that's not bad either, because then I can power up the equipment I actually want.
Yep.
Although it looks like I might have to do that dumb jumping again. No, I can just go this way. Oh, gosh. Oh, it's so nerve-wracking. I like the feel of the cars.
Mm-hmm.
They're fast.
They are fast, but you seem to have relatively like consistent control.
Yeah, they feel good. Oh, gosh, damn.
Oh, man. This isn't going the way you want it to. This is not going the way
I want it to.
There you go. You got it.
Thought I could time that one.
The voice we're hearing right now, by the way, Teletran 1 is the computer aboard the Ark.
Oh, they're screwing me up. Yeah.
That in the original cartoon kind of wakes up the Autobots and the Decepticons after they are in hibernation kind of for like 4 million years or something like that.
Sure. And who is he voiced by?
I don't know the answer to that.
Oh,
I don't know if that guy is still the same original guy. Ooh, turret.
Good turret sequence. Oh my gosh. Don't do it.
Oh no, Ben.
I'm getting wrecked. Is that guy still over there?
Just go punch him.
No, never. Is that it?
I think you won.
That can't be it.
Let's talk a little bit about L3 and R3 together, which I see teasing us up in the upper left of the screen. What's that all about?
Good call. I have not used that, and I should be. So each character has their own, like, the L1 is even a different thing. So L1 doesn't move, which for...
And those are different for each character?
Dash.
Yeah.
You can see it automatically just rejuvenates itself. But I could dash all over the screen. Let's have sort of a limited amount. I know, I think Wheeljack
gives him sort of like a ninja vibe, doesn't it?
Yeah, I like it. I think Wheeljack has a shield.
Okay.
Not sure. I think Optimus Prime, it's like an area attack or something. Usually it seems like it's kind of a defensive move.
Okay.
But then R3, L3, I'll show you what those do here in a minute. I'll wait for a big group of dudes. Oh boy. Here we go.
You got a little 80s style arcade action going on here.
Yeah, this is actually kind of cool. So the game's actually done a good job, at least up until this point, of like kind of like throwing some new things in there from time to time, such as this.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it repeat too much yet, but we're only on the second chapter.
Yeah, I remember in preview getting to see some cool stuff where you're actually doing some like chase sequences where there's one part where you're kind of chasing Megatron while he's on the back of one of the Constructicons or something crazy like that.
Oh, I haven't played that yet. That sounds
which
cool.
looks pretty neat. I'm sure that's coming a little later in the game. And we haven't talked about, like the root of the name of this game is also, we got the character of Devastator.
That's true.
Who
He's
shows
in
up
there.
in here.
I've seen him.
Yeah.
I actually fought him early on.
Devastator's the guy who's like multiple Constructicons who combine together into this super powerful
Which,
combiner
when I was
robot.
a kid, I thought that was the coolest thing.
Yeah. It was
Because
the
it is the
coolest
coolest
thing.
thing.
It continues to be the coolest thing, Ben. Combiner robots, I don't care how non-practical they are, they're the best.
And he was the originator, but there's been a bunch since.
Yeah, there's combiner robots that predate Devastator outside of the Transformers universe, but he was the, within the fiction, kind of the original combiner.
And they kind of even took that idea from Voltron, right? Was Voltron out before Transformers?
Yes, there was Voltron, and there were some other sort of Japanese combiner robots that predated it. Well, he got really big.
Yeah, he did. Oh, gosh.
Look out. Oh, nice dodge. I do like that vehicle attack thing. It's pretty cool. Look out. I'm gonna do some backseat gaming for you right now, and just continually shout whenever you're supposed to dodge.
Tell me
But
when to
always be
dodge.
like 2 seconds late.
Right, that'll be helpful. It'll be about the time I need to dodge for the next attack.
Exactly. Here's my retort.
That's his retort.
Wow.
That's very Japanese, right?
Yeah.
there. If you could be a Transformers, what kind of vehicle would you be?
Me?
Yeah.
Oh man, that's a big decision you just put in front of me. I think.
Oh,
Oh no,
that wasn't good.
that wasn't good at all. I think I would maybe.
Oh, no.
I think I would maybe be a some sort of space vehicle. I think would be what I would go for. But I don't want to be like Astro Train. He's got it rough because he's just like a transport vehicle. Everybody just gets inside of Astro Train.
Was he the
Whenever-
one that could transform into two different things?
Yeah, he was a triple changer. He could turn both into a train appropriately.
And an Astro?
And an Astro, or more specifically, a space shuttle. Although it was always a little bit weird when he transformed into a train and there were just magically railroad tracks there for him.
Yeah, that is a weird thing, because why even be a train if you can be a space shuttle?
Yeah. Well, there was a lot of, and it does seem that they actually are sort of in a tongue-in-cheek way acknowledging it here. There was a lot of loose dealing with the idea of conservation of mass in the original Transformers universe. And what I mean by that is there were characters like Megatron, who in the original story was this big robot the size of Optimus Prime,
Right.
who was a tractor trailer. But when he transformed, he was a handheld gun that Soundwave could hold. And Soundwave was a tape player in his other form.
He would get really small.
Who would get really small
So
when
what
he
if
transformed.
he transformed into the tape while he was holding Megatron? How
Into
small
the
would
tape
Megatron-
player?
Yeah.
It was a great mystery. And I like that without actually talking about it directly, they seem to be just doing that here, right? Where like earlier you were sort of fighting the Insecticons at one size, and now they're just bigger because, I don't know, it's cooler that they're bigger now.
It is cool.
Yeah. But it cracks me up a little bit.
Boom.
Nice job.
Combat feels good.
It does. It looks good. I mean, I was a lot of the kind of polishing of the combat was still in process when I first played it, and this looks pretty solid actually. Like pretty smooth. I don't see a lot of like glitchy problems, and also when I played, it hadn't really been balanced yet, and so it was hard to get a sense. But it seems like you're like, trucking along through that stuff. They're not easy battles, but they're not like totally impossible. I know that they have, in addition to their main story mode, there's this whole kind of challenge mode thing that they've got in the game.
Oh no.
That I don't know if you started messing around with it all
I
yet.
think you have to unlock that by finishing the main game first.
Sure. And it looked like those levels were real hard.
Yeah, I bet. Oh my gosh. I don't like this drippy stuff.
No, it looks bad.
Okay.
Nice.
Nope. Nope.
Oh, no.
Nope. Oh no.
Those doors really are giving you trouble.
Yeah, I don't really care for the doors.
You made it.
There we go. Past that
You're a
one.
winner. Have you used L3 and R3 yet?
No, I still forgot
man.
to last time we were... Oh, gosh.
Oh, that was close.
Oh, gosh. Oh. Okay, I don't know if that's how you're supposed to do that.
Wait, your very nature will be tested, and an abyss will be presented to you.
Have you been talking to my brother? Because you sound just like...
Who's his brother? Teletran 1?
No. I think they're...
Sidewipe?
I think they're referencing Sunstreaker. It's been a while since I paid attention to that particular branch of the fiction, but there's like the yellow car.
Yeah.
I think the implication
Oh, you're
is that
talking about
they're...
Bumblebee.
No, not Bumblebee. Different yellow car.
Oh, gosh,
Some
no!
fellow Transformers fan in the
yelling
who's
at us.
watching is like, no, they're talking about this guy. But I think they're talking about Sunstreaker, if I'm remembering correctly.
All right, a little platforming section here.
Yeah, that's okay. I mean, this doesn't look like awful platforming, and
Oh, no.
I'm kind of interested in all the ways that so far, even in this like brief time that we're looking at the game, Transformers Devastation is trying to do different things with the gameplay, switch things between like high-speed racing, a little bit of light puzzle solving, a big focus on action melee combat, but also some like platforming sequences. I don't know. It's kind of cool.
I'm all for like shaking up the action.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that makes it fun. A little bit of taste changer.
Oh, we do not want to blow up half of Earth.
My figures aren't precise, but at current calculations, roughly 92.787% chance it will detonate.
That's not good.
Nope.
Okay,
It's a high chance.
Don't break the plasma core. Understood.
You know what we haven't been using either is Devastator's
Fists,
drills.
his drills.
Yeah, there they are.
Cool, those look cool.
Let's use those for a minute.
Uh-ohs.
Don't mind me. Kick back.
Ancient Insecticon.
All right. Oh,
Oh,
here's my L3R3. Oh, okay.
nicely done.
Take some of that.
You didn't like that at
No,
all.
he didn't.
You gotta get out of his way, though. He's hitting you hard when he hits you. Are there difficulty settings that you chose at the beginning of the game?
Yeah. There's like 3 difficulty settings.
And this
So
is what? Lowest
this is-
or medium?
This is the lowest one.
Okay.
Just to get a start for it. This is like, hey, basic moves. And then the second one's more challenging.
Yeah.
And if you hadn't guessed, the third one's more challenging.
Really?
Yeah, that's how they go in order of challenge.
Fascinating. Well, that should be cool. This definitely seems like one of those games that, as we review it, we'll want to kind of like, we'll spend a lot of time with the different difficulty modes and like,
Oh yeah.
try them all out, because it has a lot of bearing on a game like this, right?
Oh yeah.
You want that sense that it's accessible for all players on the lower difficulties, but that it develops more sophisticated options combat-wise as you head into the higher difficulties.
And I'm going to guess the third one's the most challenging.
Yes, I think you're right about that, Ben. I think you have a good sense of how difficulty settings work. Congratulations on that.
I'm doing it, man.
You are doing it.
I took out 2 of them so far.
Oh, get some of that
loot.
stuff.
Where's Kickback?
There he is. That
Why not?
worth a try. Whoa. A.
I did it.
You got an A.
I ate it.
No time to lose. Capture that plasma core.
You better capture it.
Breaking the crystal shielding and ripping it out.
Is that the best way? If something's like 99% chance of
That's how I
blow
always.
off,
That's how I always fix my car.
just smash your fist right in there.
Just like open up the hood and just smash everything until you get to something that looks glowy and hot.
Well, clearly it was the right way to go. Am I doing this right?
Almost there.
Oh,
That's not good.
it's clearly trying to defend itself. So
You did it.
I keep thinking I'm breaking it, but
If this continues, the whole room is likely to explode shortly.
I love this just like overwrought dialogue. It's so great.
Yeah, it kinda
melodramatic.
kind of reminds me of that cartoon. Actually,
It absolutely does. Oh,
it's gone.
oh, bye.
That's clearly New York, right?
Powered down for now.
Well,
But if we allow Megatron to retrieve the plasma core before we find it, our victory here will not matter.
no, it won't.
We must move quickly.
Pretty good.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Well, I think that was a pretty good look at the game. This
I
seems
think
like
so,
the
too.
perfect place to end it, actually.
Yeah, with an A score, I will add.
With a lot of A's, a couple of BS's in there.
A couple BSs.
There's a bit of BSing with you.
Yeah,
So, thanks for joining me, Miller.
yeah, absolutely. I'm excited to check this out.
Yeah, you definitely should. And hopefully this gave you a taste. This is Transformers Devastation. Comes out tomorrow, in fact.
Sweet.
So you can get your hands on it soon.
Excellent.
I'm going to go infuse a bunch of weapons into my arsenal now.
Beautiful.
So thanks for joining me, Miller.
Yep.
And thank you for watching. I'm talking to you.